Well, hey guys, I'm Nick and welcome back to the channel. Well, today we're talking about Star Trek Prodigy Season 1, Episode 18, entitled Mindwalk. This was probably one of my favourite episodes this season. It had some action and excitement, it had some really good humour, and a real kind of classic theme in sort of Star Trek storytelling, where we get Dal and Admiral Janeway swapping bodies. We've had a few kind of quirky episodes over the years in Star Trek, you know, like the Next Generation crew being, you know, made into young kids or whatever in that Rascals episode. They're always an entertaining kind of episode, and this episode was very entertaining. I did read just today that the last few episodes of our season here are going to be some pretty good episodes, and I kind of concur. This was a good one. Even though it's an animation, and obviously, you know, our actors are a little bit restricted in terms of their performance because they're in a sound booth and everything. They're not acting in front of a camera. I think Kate Mulgrew did a really good job of acting like Dal in the whole body swap thing they had going on in this episode, and there was some real laugh out loud moments, so I really enjoyed it. Guys, if you haven't subscribed to Sci-Finatics yet, please don't be scared to do so. Click on that big subscribe button to stay current and up to date with all the latest Star Trek news on YouTube. So our episode pretty much picks up where we left off last week with the confrontation between the Dauntless and the Protostar. And obviously our team are trying to work out how they go about contacting the crew of the Dauntless without engaging the hailing frequencies or whatever. So that's because that would obviously transfer the construct virus into the other ship, and it would not be good. Zero comes to the conclusion that with his telepathic abilities merged with whatever latent augment telepathic DNA that Dal has, they might be able to summon up enough power to get a message to Admiral Janeway. But it kind of goes a little bit wrong in a Freaky Friday kind of way, and Dal ends up in Janeway's body, and Janeway ends up in Dal's body, and hilarity ensues. I think watching Dal stumble around the corridors of the Dauntless, acting all awkward and so forth, whilst in Janeway's body was hilarious. I thought Kate Mulgrew did such a great job of capturing the spirit of Dal within her body. I think it was some really great moments of just, you know, that sort of weird, awkward teen moments, bumping into crew members and trying to act like Janeway, but obviously doing a really bad job of it. It had me laughing out loud in quite a few moments. So I think that was, you know, a fantastic aspect of this episode. By the same token, you know, Dal, Brett Gray had to act, you know, quite restrained and refined and everything to you know, exude the spirit of Janeway through the Janeway being in his body. Both actors had to sort of reach into their, you know, crayon box of acting colour to pull off this episode, and they did a good job of it. I was highly entertained. We had a nice scene as well between the hollow Janeway and the Dal Janeway, so there was sort of a moment there where obviously we had to sort of suspend our disbelief that it's actually hollow Janeway talking, even though it is in fact still in Dal's body. So there was a kind of a cute, you know, interaction there between hollow and genuine, just to kind of prove that she was who she said she was, and not in fact Dal, by, you know, giving some history there that she could relate to and prove her identity. And we even had a reference to Janeway being a salamander, likening their scenario to that Voyager episode where we saw, you know, Janeway and Tom Paris, the episode where they were trying to break the Warp 10 barrier and things went astray, and yeah, Tom Paris and Janeway ended up as sort of weird axolotl type creatures. So that was a cool reference back to that Voyager episode. I thought it was fun also that Dal, as Janeway in her quarters or whatever, was playing with the model of the Voyager ship that she had there. That was kind of you know, cool that there was that nervous energy going on, and used it to sort of, you know, fiddle around with Janeway's old ship. That was kind of fun, and it was an exciting episode. We had that, obviously, the chase going on at warp speed, where they're, you know, tearing through the quantum slipstream corridor or whatever. And we've got, you know, a spacewalk going on. We've got Janeway and Dal trying to kind of meet in the middle to get the whole body swap thing transferred back again. We've got Murph acting as, you know, a stretchy big rubber band to connect himself back to the ship to make sure they don't fly off into space. There was a few really kind of cool sequences in this episode, and I think they did a really good job of, I guess, blending the comedic moments, as well as a bit of action and excitement and adventure as well. It ticked the boxes all round. Now, obviously, at the end of the episode, we've got the Protostar and the Dauntless arriving in Federation space. We've got a huge armada of ships there, every ship conceivable to Starfleet. Not just a cut and paste thing like they did in the last episode of season 1 of Picard. We've got Defiant class and Galaxy class in there, and some Sovereign class or whatever as well. It's it's a good mix of historical ships of Starfleet. So I think that was great. And obviously we might be getting a bit of an action-packed next episode. If some of the Federation fleet decide to make contact with the Protostar, I'm guessing some Federation ships are going to start shooting at each other, because that's the whole purpose of the virus. It's getting Starfleet ships to attack each other. So with such a huge armada, this is probably going to be a big space battle coming up in the next episode, which should be quite exciting. But at least Janeway now knows what's going on and knows the situation, knows the construct, and how that's affected the Protostar. I think they seem to have stretched out this whole reveal and letting the other ship know. There's plenty of opportunities to even hold up a big sign out the window to say, do not try to contact us. We are infected by a virus. Please stay away. We are friendly, but don't want to make all the Federation ships infected, or even throw a message in a bottle out the window and hit the Dauntless view screen or something. There's plenty of, I guess, creative means of communicating with them, but they just couldn't get past the fact that the only way they could communicate was by opening hailing frequencies. Come on, guys, get creatively thinking. But at least this episode had them work out what in fact is going on, so that won't be drawn out again into the next episode. We got Janeway in the brig at the end as well, so I'm not sure how Admiral Janeway is going to explain herself when everybody thinks she's gone completely loopy and been possessed by Dahl. So now no one's probably going to trust her, and the information that she's spouting, they probably just think she's gone a bit cuckoo. So yeah, how she's going to get the message across to the Dauntless crew and obviously contend with the Diviner and Essentia and everything in terms of what their agenda is going to make for an interesting next episode. Guys, as always, leave your thoughts in the comments section. Let me know what you thought of this episode, and we'll get chatting about that. As I said, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done so. Leave a super thanks if you're able to. It really helps the channel out, particularly this time of year. All the hard work I put in over the last year or so. Super thanks will be much appreciated at holiday season. Also, check out merch in the merch store. T-shirts, hoodies, mugs, caps, stickers, you name it, all there. Pick yourself up something for yourself or a family member or a loved one. I'll catch you guys soon for my next video. I'll see you soon.